Has this ever happened to you? You're just minding your own business and you get launched. You believe it's no big deal until your opponent pops heat. And now you're in a world of hurt because you're gonna get hit with a mix-up. A mid that's gonna wall splat you, or a low that's either gonna be plus or reset the mix-up situation. Not to mention all the other gimmicks like unblockables, guard breaks, or wall crushes. However, I got the secret technique that allows you to avoid this mix-up. What you have to do is grab the cable and you... Anyways, I won't be talking about the basically unwinnable mix-up because I don't think that itself is the issue with Tekken, and also I believe Bamco designed the game around force 50-50. The real issue is that combo damage is too high, so by the time you're at the wall, you already have half health, and the incoming mix-up will probably take another chunk from you or even kill you. However, reducing combo damage as well as increasing health again will make it so that even if you take a mix-up, you'll have enough life to make a comeback. First off, I would like to increase the health to 200 because all the extra damage and chip can be a lot for 180 health to take. And it also makes the math a bit easier, but you may need to buff lows or other pokes with this. Next, I'll be going over all the interactions I'll be changing, which are the scaling for launching, the wall combo after a launch, the wall splat combo, combo from a heat smash, combo after a heat dash, and low parry. Lastly, for demonstrations, I'll be using low tier double Jin and high tier Jin because those are the only characters I know how to use. And starting with the damage scaling with a launch, I'm changing so that the third hit and onwards in the combo deal 10% less damage with a minimum of 20% damage scaling. This makes it so that your combos do about 10 less damage and it takes about a third of your health normally. Also, heat burst in the combo doesn't reduce your damage anymore. Furthermore, I didn't touch other stuff like the guaranteed hit after using both heat burst and dash in the combo because I feel like that didn't need to be changed. After a launch is the wall combo, which, after enough hits, goes from 24% scaling to 20%, which isn't too much. However, the low slump hit goes from 50% to 30%. This was done because I felt it dealt way too much damage, especially when the optimal combo in most circumstances is where you use the tornado at the wall, which led to a lot more hits. With this change, it only reduces your damage by about 7 if you don't include the previous change. The next change revolves around combos you get from a wall splat, and I just make it so that it scales the same as a regular combo, so that in general it deals less damage but doesn't do too little damage. However, weird stuff like Dojin's heat laser and Kuma's butt wall ender weren't touched because those are more character specific if anything, and I didn't want to mess with that. Overall, this reduces your wall splat damage by about 8. And even with all the previous changes, if you get a heat smash and a wall splats or does a stage gimmick, it still does a ton of damage. So I changed all of them and placed them into one group. Now if you heat smash your opponent and it does something, from the second to the fourth hit in the combo, it will do significantly less damage. With this, heat smashes that lead into a combo still deal a pretty good chunk of damage, only doing about 75 damage, but at least it won't consistently deal above half your health. Now for the heat dash combos, and it's pretty simple where it's just so the percentages look nice. It is what it is, even though there are some consequences where that does about 4 extra damage. It still however loses damage if the heat dash goes into a wall, so I believe it's fine. Lastly, of all these changes, low parry should be buffed to start at 90% scaling, going down to 70%, then 40% and so on. Otherwise it will do barely any damage. With this, it should have most low parries do about the same damage, except for some wall situations. However, what's kind of scary is that King's typical low parry combo deals 58 damage, or 63 if it was blue sparks. But surely just heal the gray health, right? Now with the 200 health buff and about 15 to 20% lower combo damage, you can have at least one more interaction with your opponent. But honestly, the top tiers will still stay top tiers because nothing's changed in that regard, but at least every character in the game will have a more difficult time 2-tapping you. Okay, bye bye.